of folks, a lot of eyes will be on that. We want to go now to our Paul Murphy, who is continuing to get some fan reaction. Paul, how is it?
We are at the world famous Surrio's Po' Boy on St. Charles in the CBD with Mike Surrio, the owner, who is a super fan of all things Louisiana sports. And Mike, when you heard the word, what was your response?
Not surprised at all. You know, it was a day that was coming. I think he was like a dead man walking. You know, he had a bad luck year, with all the injuries and so forth. First game of the year, we started out with big promise, beat Cowboys, and since then it's been downhill, and the injury bugs really hurt.
Now, this is a place where you speak, talk sports all the time with the customers. It's a big sports hangout. What's been the mood of the Saints fans in your establishment?
Well, it's frustration, because you can't seem to turn a corner. It's you lose particular players, with injuries and stuff like that, and nobody's really stepping up to take the challenge. And look, it seems like we're a rudderless ship. They just spin their wheels going around in circles, and it's they get the opportunity and then they just blow it.
And obviously you can't do anything about the injuries, but those that are backups, they gotta step up, next man up, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And maybe it's a lack of who we draft and who we sign as free agents. We got to evaluate everybody from Mickey Loomis on down. And the coaches, you got to reevaluate everybody. But it's not good. And to be in this position, this part of the season, it's really kind of hopeless. I know that you're not supposed to quit. I'm always saying, Tigers never quit, Saints never quit, but they got to dig deep down.
I've also heard a lot of people criticizing the strength and conditioning when you have so many people year after year being sidelined with injuries.
Well, the game's so fast, and the game is so fast, and these athletes are so big. It's unbelievable. The days of Russell, Paternostro, keeping them all in shape was, players were different back then. Maybe we were tougher. I don't know. Good question. I read stories about, when guys used to be 60-minute players, guys like Jimmy Taylor, Billy Cannon and all those guys, Mike Ditka, and now everybody's a specialist. And if they get an ingrown toenail, they miss a game.
And we're talking about the possible, they're going to obviously rebuild this coaching staff. Who would you like to see come in and take over the team?
Well, I kind of gravitate towards the coaches like Dan Campbell. I like the big, the tough guy, that can back it up. And he's a good coach. You got to teach fundamentals. It starts with the fundamentals, and you got to build your program from there. You got to win it you win it in the lines, offense, defensive lines. You got to protect your quarterback. And if you go that route, I think it's going to be hard. It's going to take time. I think Carr's still I think he's a real good quarterback. He just doesn't have enough tools to work with.
Another name that I hear a lot is Aaron Glenn.
Yes, he's a possibility. He was a great, player in the NFL, and I don't know nowadays if the inventory out there is really deep anymore. I don't know if football's changed. It's more offense oriented. And I'm a defensive guy. I think that's why Detroit is playing, because they play tough defense.
And what are you now expecting out of the Saints now that they've made this move? What are fans hoping to see now from the organization?
Well, we're hoping to see that they make the right choice. Don't just hurry up and make a haphazard choice or a popular choice. You go somebody that's going to be there for the long haul. And they may have some good young coaches out there. But like I said, you got to get somebody that's sound fundamentally.
And during the Drew Brees, Sean Payton years, we kind of got spoiled here in New Orleans, where we had a string of good teams.
No doubt. I mean, that was what a combo. It really was. And we were fortunate to have them. They brought us a Super Bowl champion 9 years. 2009. It's like eons ago. But we were lucky. It's just like Alabama losing Nick Saban. You can't go on forever.
And so I guess this is something you expect people will be discussing here in your place.
Yeah, that's all we talk about, man. It's like 24/7. Tigers, Saints, you name it, football, college football, pro football. You know, that was in my blood, my whole life. My great uncle Mitchell, Sirio, that started Sirios, and he instilled that aspect into my brother and Jack and I's lives. You know, like football, it's king.
All right, Mike Sirio, we appreciate it here at Sirio's Po' Boys. Again, expressing what a lot of fans are saying this morning, not surprised, and hoping that whatever happens with the new coach and new coaching staff, that they could right the ship, the Saints can right the ship and get back to winning football. Back to you guys.